Hello. So in this video, we would be creating a Kafka instance. So we would be creating an VM instance first and install Kafka on top of it. So let's go and see how we can do it. So I will be creating an VM instance on Google Cloud. So let me give it some name. The name should be in small case only. And I'm interested in E2. That's fine. Think I will go with standard memory. And in case of boot disk, I will change that boot disk from operating system Debian, and I will select Ubuntu 20.404 LTS is okay. So it is for long-term support. So this is as well fine. Let me give it some 60 GB. We won't need that much. You can reduce if you need so. So this will give us a pricing summary. Okay, this is $1 6 monthly, but we won't use it for that long. Rest of the properties we can keep at it is without changing anything. And let me go and hit create. So once you create the VM instance, you can see the status here once it is up and running. Till the time, what we also need to do is we need to fire some commands to set up our instance. So I will walk you through that. Apart from that, we also need to have this external IP, set up this external IP as in static IP, so that whenever we restart our Kafka instance, this IP doesn't get changed. And whenever we will be using from our external resources connecting to this Kafka server, this IP should remain same. So in order to do that, let me IP address. So let's go to view network detail and see if we have any options. So if you see on the left hand side, we have IP addresses. Okay. And I have created this earlier, so you don't have to worry about it. But in case you need to select, so let's see what is our IP address. So let me go back here, and in compute engine, I could see this is our IP address 34.125.151.28. Okay, let's see how we can make this static. So let me go to network details, then go back to IP address here. So this is right now our external address. In order to make it static IP address, we need to take IP. The name should be in lowercase. Then hit on reserve. So this will reserve our IP address as static IP. So in case we change anything on that server, it doesn't matter. Or even if we restart the server, the IP address won't get changed. So let me go back to compute engine, and then now the status is running. So in order to connect, I can click here and open in browser window. So this is the first step. Now when we should be able to connect to the VM. So the initial first time will take a little bit of time, but going forward, it would be very smooth. So let's wait for a couple of more seconds till the time it gets started. And once it gets started, we will see how we can install Kafka on it. But before installing Kafka, there are prerequisites, some commands we need to execute. Like for example, as this is a server we are starting for the first time, we need to update the package list, like to upgrade an installation from the repository. So let me update it. So this will update the repositories. The next important thing is we need to install JDK. To install JDK, that is the primary prerequisite to run Apache Kafka. So once we done that, then only we can install Kafka. So let's wait for this to get finished. Yeah, all the packages are now up to date. So let me install JDK now. Installing JDK now. Let me give why, as this will take 810 MB additional disk space. So we are waiting for headers. So it's executing. So once this get executes, let's take a Java version, like which version we have installed. Yeah, now the installation is finished. So let's check which is Java version which was installed. So yeah, now the Java is successfully installed. We can see Java version returning something. So now let's go and install wget as well, which we would need to download files from the web. So that is basically Kafka we need to download. Uh, so now wget is installed. So let me create one more directory inside this. So let me also name it like to Kafka something. Now let me go inside that directory and let me download the Kafka instance. This I will give as part of this video as well. So once we download this, we need to extract the contents of out of this Kafka package. So it is in compressed format. We need to decompress it. So to decompress it, we would use tar. So now that Kafka is also downloaded, let me uncompress it using tar command. Okay, so this will uncompress it. Yeah, now we can see we have, let me do ls and check if everything is going well. Okay, so now we have this directory installed. Let me set it up as Kafka home so that I don't have to give entire path each time when I will execute. So I'm setting it up as Kafka home. Okay. The first thing which we need to do is we need to use the command on Google Cloud, which will enable the firewall rules to collect, allow the TCP port 9092 to connect. And apart from it, we can connect it from external different IP addresses. So we need to connect from multiple IP addresses from an external site, not on Google Cloud. So this command will help us to enable the firewall rules. So coming back to this Google Cloud homepage, now what we need to do is we need to execute a command which will enable the firewall rules. In order to do this, there are multiple options. We can go from this UI and add as well. But what I would prefer is using this Cloud Shell. So once we have this Cloud Shell running, we can directly fire the command. So we don't have to do it manually. So let's give it a couple of seconds more to get it started and then we can execute. Now that our cloud instance is running, let me execute the command. So the command is like this. So we are using gcloud compute firewall rules and we are allowing the ports. So right now we are allowing all the ports to execute because at this moment we are not sure which ports we will be using because we would be creating multiple broker instances and giving different port numbers. Even also, we are not sure which from where we would be connecting to this Kafka server, Databricks, Google Cloud, or Google Colab. So we can connect from multiple sources. So I'm allowing everything, but this is not recommended in production or an real environment. So let me create this. We need to authorize it. Once we authorize it, will be creating a firewall command. And it has activated. So hey, so we have started this new instance of our browser, Sage browser. So let first set up Kafka home. So once I'm set up Kafka home, we need to start ZooKeeper. Start ZooKeeper. So what is ZooKeeper? So in Kafka, ZooKeeper is used for coordination and managing the cluster state, like such as keeping track of Kafka brokers, topic, partitions, consumer group information. So everything related to Kafka. So ZooKeeper is responsible for tracking those. So now that we are talking about broker, let's start the Kafka server start script. So this we would be starting one of the broker on Kafka server. So Kafka broker is a server that runs within a Kafka cluster. So Kafka cluster is a group of brokers and we have started one of the brokers. So brokers are as responsible for handling like incoming and outgoing message from producers and consumers. Like they store and replicate Kafka topics, partitions. So they handle all the data replications, distribution across cluster. So this is responsibility of a broker. So now that we have created broker, let's see it is started in the log. So let me check. Yeah, this looks good. No error. Everything is in info. So we have registered broker at zero path. So our broker is started. So now let's go and see how we could create a topic in that broker now. So what is topic? Like topic is a name given to a Kafka to store stream of records or messages. So like it's a core unit topic. So like topics then internally can be now divided into multiple partitions, and then those partitions can be replicated across multiple brokers where like producers can write message to the topics and consumers can read message from the topic. Topic is similar to a table in a database or a folder in a file structure. So where we could store it and multiple people can write to it, multiple people can read from it. So that's what topic is. So in order to create a topic, we can give pass multiple parameters like create topic. So we can give the topic name. So we are giving first topic as a topic name. Then we have the server name. So we will see how we can give server list here going forward. We can have as many as partitions we have, but as of now we have just one broker. So we have started one partition, but we will see how we can use multiple partitions as well. Similarly, for replication factor, we can increase those replication factor. Then we have this cleanup policy. So this cleanup policy is a configuration for this topic only. So this compact policy ensures that topic retains the most recent value for each message key, discarding older values. Similarly, we can give like delete, and we can both give compact and delete as well. So delete will this delete is actually the default cleanup policy. So that based on the retention period specified or retention size specified, older segments that exceeds those retention criteria are removed. Like similarly, we can use compact and delete together as well. So this should create a topic for us. So yeah, the first topic is created, and what we can do is, so now what as we have created the topic, what we can do is we can also list down what all topics we can do is we can list down all the topics which we have. So in order to do that, we can use Kafka topic, and using this list argument, we can see which all topics we have created. So as of now, we have just one topic, first topic. So now that we have some place where we can store our data, let's create an producer. So producer in real world is an like kind of an application or a component so that publishes message to this Kafka topic. So this can be any application, UI, database, anything which generate message. So though these applications sends records to a specific topic, so that now we have created this first topic. So our application will send a message to this topic that will have a key and a value pair, and it can have like optional timestamp as well. So these applications will publish message. So either it can publish message synchronously or asynchronously, so that depending upon whatever requirements of our data we have, like we can have it both synchronous and asynchronously as well. So let's see how we can produce. So this could be our sample producer from the command line. So let me, so that our now producer has started, let me give this, suppose I'm giving like key1 colon value 1. So this is the format I am giving my key value. Let me remove this, some information. Okay, let me use second message as well, key2 value 2. Okay. So suppose these are the messages which are generated by our applications. Okay. Some things to note over here is this acknowledge all. So this sets the acknowledgement configuration to ensure that all the replicas acknowledge this message has been written. So the value all guarantees that message are not considered committed until all replicas have acknowledged them. So similarly, we have now mentioned compression type as well as gzip. So this will ensure that our messages are compression codec is gzip. So this can help to reduce the size of message during transmission. Similarly, we can set like batch size as well. So this allows maximum size of batch of a message before it can be sent to us Kafka broker. Like smaller batches can lead to a lower latency, but potentially like high network overload. So all these properties would be helpful while sending our data to a producer. So now that we have sent data to a producer, we have these two messages. So someone should read those messages as well at real time. Okay. So in order to do that, in order to start, what I need to do is I need to start a consumer. So I would need one more instance of this browser window, search connect. So that will help me to read that consume that messages as well. So whatever people are sending. So what I need to do is I need to set up Kafka Home as we have now again created a new window. We will need to store this export this Kafka Home path as well. So once done, now that our window has started, let's set up this Kafka Home. And now that Kafka Home is also set up, well, let me execute the console consumer script. So what this console consumer script will do is it will read first from the first topic from the server, and it will read the message from the beginning. Instead of from beginning, you can give like offset earlier, so that it is similar to from beginning. So, but it will instruct the consumer to start consuming from the earliest offset available in that topic. Similarly, you can give that offset number as well. So we will see what those offsets are. Like offset, it allows you to specify offset from where the consumer should start reading the message. Basically, each message will have its own offset in each partitions. And similarly, max message. Max message is this important property. So suppose, for example, if producers are stopped for a period, like your application is stopped for a period, and when it is restarted, they might generate a large number of message in short period of time. Okay. So by setting this max message to a specific value, you can limit the number of message the consumer will process. So this will help preventing overwhelming the consumer with potentially large backlog of a message. So this typically is useful when you are like either testing or want to make sure that your application, even if the consumer producer is stopped for some time and your consumer should not get bottleneck with lot of messages. So this will help you in that. So when I press enter here, so it should now read the message. So it has read this key value, key and the value. Okay. So let me go back here and give one more like key 3 value 3. And let's see, it's coming. So this is what happens in real time when we are generating message from producer and our consumer is able to read it. So now let's see how we can use external websites or to generate data, and then we can use like Databricks to process them and store them. So let's see, and we also will see how we can use multiple brokers. So right now we are using just a single broker. So let's see how we can use multiple partitions and multiple brokers. Next, Kafka from Python. What we need to do is we need to install a library named as Kafka Python or dash Python, or to be specific. So I have installed it and I will show you how we can do it. And using that, I have created a class, and that class will help us to do all the activities which we have done from command line. So basically, it's a simple Python code where we are initializing, we are taking the server name and topic, then creating a topic on using that. So we have an functions which we can use to create topic. So using that, we have created topic. We have done some exception handling here as well. And so we can get the topic list directly from the topic names. We can even delete the topic from Python. So if we not required that topic, similarly, we can using this produce messages, we can produce the messages and send it using taking input like message key and message payload. So what is our key for that message as well as the string? Then what we can do is we have this consumer message, so which will consume this messages which are generated. So suppose if once you have pushed the messages and if you want to consume, you can use this consume message function. So overall, this is a Kafka Connect library. So what I'm trying to do is here is I want to bundle it together, and using this, we will be using Kafka to connect to our Google Cloud. But what I have done here is I am also integrating this with the YouTube API. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to read the data of YouTube comments. Okay, at the real time, I need to send it to Kafka server using the script and then do some sentimental analysis on those comments, whether those are positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to install a bunch of libraries. For Kafka Python, we need one library. Then for one library, text blob we would be using for sentimental analysis, and Google authorization and API Python client for connecting with YouTube API. So if you want to use YouTube API, YouTube API, what you need to do is you need to go here in API and services, and there would be a section where you could use YouTube API version 3. So here I guess it would be YouTube Data API version 3. So using this, you could extract all the public data which is available. So that doesn't take time. You will get an API key which you can use in order to extract that data. I have that code written. I will share that as well as part of this playlist. That would be a part of my GitHub account. So to install all these libraries, so what we can do is let me go back to my Python code. Okay. So now that we have this class written, so here is my structure. So I'm creating an init.py file. It is blank as of now. I will let you know why it is blank. And then I have Kafka Connect class here written. And outside folder, I have setup.py mentioned. So using this setup tools, I am trying to create a Python wheel file out of it. So I have mentioned all the text blob. This would be for sentimental analysis. This is for Kafka, and these two libraries are to extract from YouTube comments. So in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to first of all install setup tools, and we have already installed it. So let me show. Setup tools and install requirement already satisfied for both this. So I have already installed it. So I don't have to install it again. But what I need to do is I need to execute. Now I need to execute the setup.py. So let me setup.py. So it will create a wheel file for me. So let me show you how that wheel file looks like. So it has created a bunch of folder. So in this folder, this is the wheel file. It doesn't really show like which all libraries we have installed, like this text blob and all. So if you want to see which all libraries you have installed, what you can do is, so let me refresh here. The folders are not visible. Yeah. So this folder here, the wheel file has got created. Okay. So what you can do is, in order to check which all libraries, so you can copy this file and create a zip file out of it. Okay, with extension as zip. Okay, and once you give zip, you can open it. You need to go in this metadata and open this metadata in Notepad++, and you can see now this required this option. So which all libraries have you installed? You can see in this. So this way you can verify which all libraries you have installed. So now that we have this field file ready, now it's time to connect to Databricks and then connect to Kafka server. So with connect Kafka from Python, what we need to do is we need to install a library named as Kafka Python or dash Python, or to be specific. So I have installed it and I will show you how we can do it. And using that, I have created a class, and that class will help us to do all the activities which we have done from command line. So basically, it's a simple Python code where we are initializing, we are taking the server name and topic, then creating a topic on or using that. So we have an functions which we can use to create topic. So using that, we have created topic. We have done some exception handling here as well. And so we can get the topic list directly from the topic names. We can even delete the topic from Python. So if we not required that topic, similarly, we can using this produce messages, we can produce the messages and send it using taking input like message key and message payload. So what is our key for that message as well as the string? Then what we can do is we have this consumer message, so which will consume this messages which are generated. So suppose if once you have pushed the messages and if you want to consume, you can use this consume message function. So overall, this is a Kafka Connect library. So what I'm trying to do is here is I want to bundle it together, and using this we will be using Kafka to connect to our Google Cloud. But what I have done here is I am also integrating this with the YouTube API. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to read the data of YouTube comments. Okay, at the real time, I need to send it to Kafka server using the script and then do some sentimental analysis on those comments, whether those are positive, negative, or neutral. Okay. So in order to do that, we need to install a bunch of libraries. For Kafka Python, we need one library. Then for one library text blob, we would be using for sentimental analysis, and Google authorization and API Python client for connecting with YouTube API. So if you want to use YouTube API, what you need to do is you need to go here in API and services, and there would be a section where you could use YouTube API version 3. So here I guess it would be YouTube data API version 3. So using this, you could extract all the public data which is available. So that doesn't take time. You will get an API key which you can use in order to extract that data. I have that code written. I will share that as well as part of this playlist. That would be a part of my GitHub account. So to install all these libraries, so what we can do is let me go back to my Python code. Okay. So now that we have this class written, so here is my structure. So I'm creating an init.py file. It is blank as of now. I will let you know why it is blank. And then I have Kafka Connect class here written. And outside folder, I have setup.py mentioned. So using this setup tools, I am trying to create a Python wheel file out of it. So I have mentioned all the text blob. This would be for sentimental analysis. This is for Kafka, and these two libraries are to extract from YouTube comments. So in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to first of all install setup tools, and we have already installed it. So let me show you. Setup tools and install requirement already satisfied for both this. So I have already installed it. So I don't have to install it again. But what I need to do is I need to execute. Now I need to execute the setup.py. So let me setup.py. So it will create a wheel file for me. So let me show you how that wheel file looks like. So it has created a bunch of folder. So in this folder, this is the wheel file. It doesn't really show like which all libraries we have installed, like this text blob and all. So if you want to see which all libraries you have installed, what you can do is, so let me refresh here. The folders are not visible. Yeah. So this folder here, the wheel file has got created. Okay. So what you can do is, in order to check which are libraries, so you can copy this file and create a zip file out of it. Okay. With extension as zip. Okay. And once you give zip, you can open it. You need to go in this metadata and open this metadata in Notepad++, and you can see now this required list option. So which all libraries have you installed, you can see in this. So this way you can verify which all libraries you have installed. So now that we have this field file ready, now it's time to connect to Databricks and then connect to Kafka server. So yes, now let me start our Kafka server browser and execute to start ZooKeeper as well as all the brokers we have created. So we have created 3 brokers. So what we need to do is we need to execute the commands which will start ZooKeeper and server.properties, different servers which we have created, so that we would be able to connect to Kafka from Databricks. So in order to do that, I have created a bunch of commands. Let me execute all of them together in one go. Yeah, so let's see how this broker.3 looks like. So all these 3 files have different brokers. So yeah, this one is registered as broker 2. So each one will have its own broker ID. So we have now 3 brokers. So now that our Kafka server is started, what I have done is, in my Git only, I have added that wheel file which we have created. So I have this Kafka YouTube folder with list, and I have this wheel file already added. So there are also I have created one Databricks cluster. So I'm using it now, and would be executing this pip command for this wheel file. So to execute wheel file, there are different ways. Like after creating a cluster as well, you can import it from there, as well as you can import it while creating your workflows while doing the setup. So I'm not following that way now. Just a simple way. I would be running all this command. So while this pip is getting installed, it will install all the libraries, Kafka, text blob, whatever we have required. Apart from that, it will also execute all these commands required, like Kafka class. So we would be creating a server list here. Then we will connect to this Kafka connect class, which we have seen in previous video. This will create a sentimental analysis on top of it. Also, we would have this gets new command from YouTube videos. So this command, what this command will do is, this command will again go and extract comments from YouTube video. So we need to provide the ID of that video. So it will go and fetch the comments as well as likes and how many people have liked that comment as well. We can pick that as well from YouTube. So for that, we would be using YouTube API. So you need to get the secrets. You need to store it as in secrets. So you can do it from command line. You can store it in my secrets and then fetch it. Then I would be executing. I'm using this to store. So let me go and first of all add some comment over this video. So this is the video which I'm using. So this is the idea I have provided. So let me just create video. So this will add one comment. Okay, let me like this as well. So we will get one like. Let me go back and now let me execute this. So now this will execute as there was no data. I need to handle it if there is no data. But yeah, if you could see message published successfully to Kafka. So we have sent one message. So let me, this is was video. So let's see if sentimental analysis is picking up both the things. Okay, let me dislike it. I'm not sure if I'm extracting the dislike one, but I'm extracting the like ones count as well. So I think we should get it here. Message published successful to Kafka. We have a sleep time of 1 second only. So by the time this is getting executed, let's go and look at the consumer side now. So even consumer, we have sentimental analysis and this the server list. So make sure that server list has the same external IP in both your producer and consumer. And let me execute this as well. So this will start from the earliest offset and it will get the key value pair. I have given a structure for this schema. We will be getting a key value pair data. And we are subscribing to this topic name. And then we are just parsing the data to get from JSON, whatever the data value we would be having, we would be differentiating it. So we would be getting comments as well as likes in one JSON string. So we need to segregate it. So once segregated, I have created this small function to get a sentimental analysis using text flop. So text flop is used to get sentimental. So it gives some scores. Based on that, we can decide it's positive, negative, or neutral. So if you see, this is the great video. We have positive and negative. So here we would have got one more. So let me go and I'm not sure. Yeah, comments like we have this and we don't have this post perverse video. Just let me add something which don't have anything. Let me add my name and let's see what happens. So yeah. So the producer, it should publish a message. So let's wait till it's published and then maybe we could check what would be the sentimental analysis we have got for it. Apart, like for this, normally it would be an application or the database from where we would be fetching real-time data. So in our case, it was while I was working before, it was one application where users were entering data and whatever, whenever they used to keep save, we used to get the data at real time. So this was one of that case. So we are trying to replicate that application into YouTube comments so that whenever a user enter a comment, so see we have got the message. So now that message we should be getting here in the comment section. We have not used anything like watermarks or as such. We could use that watermarks as well in order to handle late coming data. So now you could see the comment is neutral. It's neither positive nor negative. So this way you can use YouTube API, Kafka, Databricks to create end-to-end pipeline as well. Yeah, overall this is the pipeline we could use. So similarly, we could do multiple things using this kind of pipeline.